So this happened basically right here. Basil, who is at Link of Sunshine. I don't know this person, and I've never seen their stuff before. But they edited somebody's artwork and put it up with big X's on it, and a shitstorm followed. Here we go. The comic goes like this. There's a guy sitting down. This is for you visually impaired or visually unconcerned individuals. There's a guy sitting down at a lemonade table, anti-woke lemonade, 50 cents a cup. He's like, man, I'm tired and not selling enough lemonade. And then he says, anti-woke lemonade. He appends it. And then it says, young man, I would like to support your business. So would I. A big crowd forms for his anti-woke lemonade. And then confused, he says, this feels wrong, but the money kind of helps. The whole comic is just completely explained out. It is what it is. I don't care. But apparently this Basil person does. This original comic is from House of Decline, who draws like this kind of like messy-ish, thick block style. The comic, I will say, is unironically better without the text. Yeah, and that is just the case. Here's the thing. This has been a issue for decades. This is not a new conversation point, which is one of the biggest reasons I wanted to bring this up. Of course, these two get into a fucking fight, and we'll get into that in a bit. But this is not a big deal, and this shit is constant. I cannot remember. I forgot to look them up. When I used to be on Co, there was another lefty creator. I can't remember their name, but their comics would get shared onto Co all the time, and they were absurd. Absolutely fucking nuts with the amount of text. It would usually be one drawing, and very similar to this person's stuff. Just a sea of text. It was actually even more than this. And sometimes it was good, and sometimes it was bad. The thing is in the common conversation was either write a book or draw a fucking comic, bloody, 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 blah. There's a few reasons that this is not a great bit of insight. First off, yeah, usually my advice is write less. If you can, write less, and try to make it a little bit punchier. Some people's comics are for people that are not intuitive. So the entire realm of political comics is packed fucking full of comics that are just all words. Everybody's seen a Ben Garrison cartoon where they have re-edited it for all of the word bubbles have just been changed to the word come, and it still works. So like that's just an aspect. If their audience enjoys this, that's their audience, right? They probably couldn't change away from this. Some people are just not intuitive, and they need to have things spelled out for them. Especially in the political sphere. You know what I mean? It could be an aspect of this person's not very confident in their storytelling. It could also be a joke. But the thing I don't want people to leave from here thinking is that any comic that has any text at all, which I'm starting to see as the response to this, is bad. That bad, right? So this is fine. Okay, I could have lived. The reaction to it is fucking absurd. But this Kendrick Ton kind of puts it, this is pretty accurate. If any of you guys have been regretting not going to art college, you can get 90% of the experience by reading this and then going outside to smoke. Basil saying this, on my knees, begging leftist comic artists to stop adding unnecessary text. Holy shit. I think the biggest issue with this is saying leftist. Really? Because it is just, and this isn't a political thing where I'm trying to be defensive of anyone. It just is not a lefty issue. It is just an issue at all with people that make stuff on, in a graphic sense. Some people load it up. The funniest one of all of these, and this is what I was saying, like fucking Co is back, is someone did Loss, the Twitter version. My wife, where is she? She's over there, sir. Your wife is in the hospital because she's sick. I feel really bad because our baby is gone. This is hilarious. This is just psychotically fucking funny because that is, I would say, one of maybe 10 fucking Control Alt Delete comics in the run of that comic up until I saw this that didn't have text everywhere. Control Alt Delete is one of the most text heavy comics fucking period. There's like 4 or 5 of them that I can remember that are like no text, and they're from later, like after this period and shit. Are they better? Yeah, but it's mostly because Tim Buckley can't write for shit. But I think comics as a medium do benefit largely from less text overall. When I try my inexpert hand at comics, I too don't put a lot of text in it because I'd rather let a material, the medium speak for itself. And Mike Mignola, whose name I can never say right, and I'm sorry, the guy that made Hellboy, is very, very light on text. Very, very light. And I would say probably one of the best balances of text to comics out there. But it's just very, very funny because the memes fucking popped off from there. Somewhat heartbreaking. The reaction to it, though, is kind of crazy. Because first off, Basil is just wrong. Basil is just wrong. On my knees begging leftist comic artists to stop adding unnecessary text. Holy shit. It's not a leftist thing. They then compare this person to Stone Toss, right? Which is also crazy because Stone Toss is better comics because Stone Toss was red panels forever. And Stone Toss has some fucking bangers. You can't take that away from Stone Toss, even though he's a piece of shit. You don't have to hand it to a Nazi. I mean, like, no, but the foot comic is it slaps. The Stone Toss feet people where it's like ass, tits, they shake hands and they look and there's a foot guy. Perfect meme, right? The guy just nailed it. I can't. One of the worst aspects of this conversation, too, was the, like, just handing away of skill to the right side of things by, like, making Stone Toss emblematic of all right-wing content and, like, this house person emblematic of, like, a significant amount of leftist. Stone Toss's old comics on red panels were just the same face every time and fucking talking. Stone Toss's shitty old comics back when he was red panels were just fucking talking. Talking and talking and talking. Talking and talking and talking and talking. It was usually just one guy doing the little big nose, and then, and then, and then, It was just that format over and over and over again as he got better at drawing comics and trying to land jokes. He figured out how to balance the amount of text overall in his stuff. That it's an aspect of skill, but it's not endemic to any side of the aisle. And if you go into righty comics right now, there's a lot of them you'll see that have a fuckload of text, and there's a lot of them on the right. Stone Toss is deservedly big, especially in his sphere. I don't have to like the guy, but you can't ignore how fucking skillful he is at relaying messages, and especially appealing to the people that are on his side and kind of unifying them and creating jokes that they all spiral up and turn into massive memes. He's a complete boon to his side because of his skill and his talent. You just can't take that away from people. I hate it. Our side of the aisle is actually literally bad about this with the whole like fascists cannot create art, and then you just see a literal fascist make art. Like fascists cannot I don't know if you understand this, but fascists don't have the ability to make stuff. Like Leni Riefenstahl, who made fucking Triumph of the Will, is one of the most influential directors of all time. And that's just the case. You know what I mean? Nazi, literal Nazi, fucking lived her whole life as a fucking, basically, as far as I know, unrepentant Nazi. Maybe she repented a little bit after directly helping the Nazis come to power, but her effective, and you're like, well, propaganda is not art. You are not part of this conversation. Just shut up. This isn't for you. I'm talking to artists at this point and people that want to listen to artists. It is. Propaganda is a part of art. It literally just is, because so much of the time where I hear that, people say that too, by the way, they're like, well, we need better representation because representation will make people feel like more welcome and stuff. Like that is propagandizing your side of politics in art. You are also doing propaganda. But no, propaganda is when bad. Okay, well, fine then. All right. So if we're just going to start calling bad art propaganda, then I guess you get to be right because you have not just even moved the goalposts, you have created an entire different game with different rules. So whatever the fuck. But unironically, the worst thing that happened here is not this person's comic. It's this dipshit's commentary on it. Like, unironically, bad fucking, like, intra-left commentary. And nobody's going to be perfect. Nobody's going to be completely on top of the fucking field. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is the best. This is the best thing I've ever seen. Come on. Sometimes, you know, you're going to suck. Sometimes you're going to give bad criticism. But this is what bad criticism is. It doesn't understand what the concept, what it was trying to accomplish. It attributes the shortcoming to something that's completely irrelevant to the comic at hand and ignores ways to, like, really improve it. You can say you want less words, but that doesn't improve every comic. Some comics don't work without the fucking words in them. Some do. Far Side comics always have a little bit of words at the bottom that usually explain the joke in a weird way that makes the absurdism more absurd. Like Cow Tools, the comic, would not hit as hard if it didn't say the words cow tools. So you need some words, right? It's just that's an aspect. And saying less is basically like being the fucking the Dufon or whatever from Mozart when he's Salieri's giving a crit. If you guys have never seen Amadeus, go watch Amadeus. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. But he's like, Your Honor, I believe that there's just too many notes. And then the fucking the emperor goes, I think there's just too many notes. This is a too many notes. That could be correct, but it doesn't hit to the heart of, it's not good criticism. It doesn't hit to the heart of why it and how it was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You just know that you didn't like the end product. One of the second things is also, once you have seen the layout of the comic with the words, the non-word version does not get rid of the words. It doesn't. You've already seen the words. Your brain knows what fucking is going on in the comic, so you can take it out. Garfield without Garfield only works with Garfield. That's why it works so well. You have to have Garfield without Garfield, which is, by the way, a version of Garfield that still has the words sometimes, but with one of the characters removed, which changes the entire conceit of what's going on. The removing of the character is in itself indicative of the fact that the character was there. And so you are not saying Garfield would have been better without Garfield all along. What you're saying is Garfield was what it was. Understanding Garfield as a medium is actually improved once you know what's going on in it, and then you do an act of absurdism or Dadaism and remove a whole character from every single strip. Garfield without Garfield works because you know Garfield's there. You might never ever thought this before, but that's why it works. You know Garfield is there in Garfield without Garfield, which is why it's fucking funny. To the point where also you see him maybe even where he's not. There's Garfield without Odie, where Odie is removed instead of Garfield, and you still will think of it as though there is a Garfield present. It is a neat psychological trick and like an aspect of, what do you call that? Like reconstructivist art. We're going back to postmodernism and stuff, but you know, there's a difference between saying like, you know, art is good as, you know, not paper mache, mosaic. Hold on, I'm almost there. When you put all the fucking pieces together, collage, right? So collage requires the things that are made that existed before the collage in order for the collage to work. This is still collage. You just don't realize it. This is literally collage because she's added art to it. The art here that makes this funnier is the X's. You have to see this to get to the next. The other one is going to be pretty fucking mundane. The other comic that you're going to enjoy, if you just actually see this without words first, off blush. You're going to go, oh, okay, I have seen that a million times before. It's a standard reaction comic. You know, you have a conceit, set up, some small alteration, then the next thing happens, okay, massive reaction, and then the reaction of the person who's like, huh. This is why you see so many exploitables of the like, look at the scroll of truth. Oh, yeah. And those get put in again and again and again and again and again. It's an act of collage, essentially. If I'm art students, if you guys are getting mad at me because collage is the wrong word, it's the same thing. You always know what's sort of there. The gap allows you to put in fucking anything. And so this is actually better than the original one because it to a degree took what the original did and built off of the top of it. This is new in its way. It's not like new, but it is a different articulation of the same points. The X's is why this becomes way funnier than if you would have just seen it with no text. So just as a thing, it's not like this is a very deep conversation. Just understand that when you see these things that are like, hey, this would always be funnier without text, never forget the temporality with which you're experiencing it, right? You know that the text is there, and therefore you are making a judgment call based on two things to see whether or not one's better, and if it's even slightly more appropriate, or if somebody said that it would be better and you like that person and you want to agree with them inherently, you may predispose yourself to agreeing with them just cause. And then you'll go, yeah, it is. And then everyone will say, yeah, it is. And then if you get to a certain point, then you get to be doing little tiny fights on the internet because you say, yeah, it is because you agree. And the other people say, no, it's not because of reasons. And then it blows up. I really wanted to talk about this for this specific reasons. It's just a very interesting aspect of creation. I've been seeing these things fucking for years. This is an ableist critique, Tyler. Have you ever considered that this person might be a little illiterate? That's actually the response here. This isn't that much text. I just think you don't like to read, which would explain your general vibe of abject stupidity. This shit fucking slaps, by the way. So this is we're gonna get into some of the responses. I'm gonna close this, and I'm gonna close the original. And they're like, look, I like your comics and your ideas, but you got to learn how to take any minor criticism without devolving into personal attacks. Fuck that. Can I just say, fuck that? I love personal attack. I miss it. We need to go back to it. Because first off, it makes everything so much more. I would have never talked about this comic. I would have never talked about this bog standard reaction comic if none of this had ever happened. So never forget that just adding controversy to mundane, mediocre, or even trash content will blow shit up. I yearn for the days of fucking creators talking shit to each other that used to be like the 1950s literati scene. You know what I mean? When fucking what's his name? In True Blood, Truman Capote. When you're Truman Capote, I don't really know. He's not that great, but I suppose if you gave a baboon a stick and some charcoal, he could write as good, write about as well. I can't tell if I'm reading a story or the account of 7 half-drunk hippies pissing in a bottle together and wondering what the taste might be like. I can't even do a good Truman Capote. Just ripping people. It makes the entire area so much better. There is a toxic positivity, and this person's trying to get by on it. If you criticize somebody, like, I'm down. I'm going to talk to the Lore Lodge person on Thursday. Tune in, I guess. I don't know if I guess I'll have to stream it so I have a recording. But I like the conflict. I don't care. If I go over there and I get my ass kicked, I'm down. I don't give a shit. But we need to get back to this, because this weak shit right here, like, Basil, you're a fucking pussy for this. Like, you're bitch made. That was fucking weak as shit. If you criticize somebody and then they turn around and smack the fucking taste out of your mouth, what, you deserved it, right? Especially if it's just words. It's not like you're getting, like, they came to your house and started fucking, like, kicking over all your potted plants. It just said, I don't know if you know this, Sweaty, but I think your comic would be a little bit better without words. And then fucking house just said, well, maybe you're fucking illiterate, sweetie. Maybe if you weren't such a stupid bitch and you read more, you'd fucking like my comic. Awesome. I didn't even give a fuck about House of Decline at all. Didn't care. Didn't know a thing about them. I love them now. I'm not going to look at any of their comics. I just want to see them get into fights again because that petty shit is fucking fire. It's good content. It's good content. I didn't give a fuck about lefty cartoonists. I did not give a fuck about lefty cartoonists 2 days ago. Now I'm about it. I'm stoked. I love it. I'm into this. I want to see more. It's great. People were trying to call it this House of Decline person has been fucking brutalizing people in the comments too. Just absolutely swinging for the fences. And I love it. I love it. People are, you like negativity? Yes. 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 Yes, we all do. Can we stop denying ourselves as fucking human beings? It's fucking great. No one's getting hurt. It's bomb mutts and fucking like traded barbs. It's so much fun. There is no better explanation, or there's no better heights that the English language can be used to out of insult. It's amazing, or any language. That's one of my biggest things that I try to bring when I argue with people is I'm an unsteady or a unstudious student of laconic wit, which is my absolutely favorite thing to hear about. If the Spartans gave us anything, it was nothing to do with their military fucking history. It was just their ability to make comebacks, like literally just to say shit back to the point where they would have them like in their brain for stuff. It was like the original freestyle. It was the fucking Spartans. You would say something. You see it in the movie 300. That's like a real fucking thing that somebody said. Like, we just ask for an offering of earth and water or something. It's like, well, you'll find plenty down there, and then kicks a guy down a hole. Like, that's who was not laughing when they saw that when it really happened? Like, oh my God. Did you just see what fucking something Autis just did? Like Ecclesiastes? That is fucking awesome. Oh my God. There are two wolves inside of me, and they both grew up in the 90s and feed on negativity and insulting people. Yeah. I mean, and just like, I feel like it's along the lines of a polite society is an armed society. I think discourse unironically gets better if people are afraid of being fucking railed. You know what I mean? Like if you have some modicum of concern that you might get fucking scorched over something, then I feel like it makes you behave better. I am always, even though I talk a lot of shit, I'm always very hyper aware of the fact that eventually Thursday is coming. I'm going to have to fucking talk shit back to somebody, or they're going to talk shit to me and call me out and stuff. And I think it does make me behave a lot better than a lot of these people who think they presume inherently that the world has to be this soft, babyish, fucking cotton covered place for them so that they can just bounce off all of the surfaces. And that's just not the case. You should be able to rip somebody. If you have any command of the English language, you should be able to fucking rip somebody. Any language, really. Without like, oh, you said the R slur. Oh, you called somebody tartar. Oh, look at you, like a little kid. That's why I don't do those. It's fun. That's a great fucking challenge. Like literally, oh, what do you do? I just wish we could call people a slur again. Of course you do, because you're fucking stupid. That's all you can do. Get out there, whip up the juice, boy. Get out there and fucking start smoking people. That's what I want. I want it back. Where are Sparta's borders as far as the spear travels? That's pretty fire. I mean, just saying fire shit like that is so cool. But like, I like it. I appreciate this person getting out here. This reaction from one guy. Don't worry. I guess I'll turn the screen back on. This Sockdem. I don't know if this person's like a troll or not, or like a real account. I can't tell. Twitter makes no sense to me anymore because Twitter followers are like no longer equivalent to like being remotely interesting even at this point. Not like they were always completely accurate, but sometimes like, wow, this person's like really like big, I guess. And like, no, they are a Twitter reply person, and they don't make any money off of this. They just stay on Twitter ginning up ad dollars for fucking Elon, and then once a year when he decides to like pretend like he's gonna pay them, he gives somebody like $10,000, and it's not always that guy. Dipshit is a far superior insult to the R slur. I think it hits harder. Learn a new language just to creatively insult people in their native tongue. An absolute flex. Tyler, the anti-review culture is a fucking extension of this idea that you can't be mean, and they miss out on one of the most important parts of shit talk. Harsh constructive criticism is some of the harshest reality checking shit. It's fucking true. It's true. And I've noticed that this kind of does actually go hand in hand with certain circles, particularly on the left, that, and I guess we'll probably be getting into this a little bit, where there is too much hug boxing because of a reaction to real issues, which is fine if you want to protect yourself from real issues. But it does turn into people hug boxing away from issues that they have made up in their fucking heads. And I think this kind of goes into, in a way, what most people that are fucking normies and offline despise about our side of the aisle, which is that people feel very comfortable in criticizing people for what they think is okay to criticize someone over. So if you think it's okay for you to criticize somebody on something, you will say anything that comes to your fucking mind. People will say anything that comes to their fucking mind on the left, the second that they have a mild criticism for somebody, because they have decided whatever they're criticizing the person on, they can say whatever the fuck they want about it. That person will respond to them criticizing them on something they think is okay to criticize people on, which they don't agree. And then the person on the fucking left side of it will piss their fucking pants. Piss their fucking pants. Cry, scream, try to call daddy into the room, which is every time someone tries to call someone's employer, you know what I mean? Or their literal parents. I don't know if you know this, but they try to tell, you try to tattle on the internet, which is just it's just absolutely fucking disgraceful. And that is literally one of the most fucking awful parts of dealing with certain aspects of lefties online. I'm starting to try to figure out, I think I've said this like 8 times, I need to better articulate who I'm talking about too, because this is the bigger issue that's a part of this is that people say the left, and it is a reactionary term completely, because it is just every single person that is not on the right is a lefty all the time. You know what I mean? And then you're just not a true lefty if you don't subscribe to every single like whim of some random fucking person, which I don't care about. I'm lefty because the people I'm trying to beat, I am left of them and I don't agree with them. That's pretty much it. And they're like, well, what about if like you win and you get everything? I'll become, as the Overton window moves, I will probably become a centrist, but I won't ever change my fucking, I'm being honest right now with all the stuff that I have pretty much ever thought. I appreciate some people say in comments like, you're being duplicitous. Where? Thought you had a joint in your hand? No, it's a pen. Just a pen. But it's fun. That's the end of the segment, by the way, for the editors. I'm going to talk to chat for a little bit about this stuff. I got that done pretty quick. I'm happy about it. Owning people is an art. It absolutely is. And the thing is, I think just from general reviewers or viewers of this stuff too, give people a leeway to lose as well. Because sometimes, motherfucker, you got like people. So a lot of the reason people are so hesitant to take insults, right, or like engage with critical culture is because people will not let them live it down, and they're anonymous, so you can't fucking get away from it anymore, which is a pain in the ass. So I don't respect it. You can do it if you want, because I can't stop you either. But like when people get fucking smoked, let them breathe about it 5 or 6 years down if they're not doing the same thing. Sometimes like yeah, there will be so many people. I believe in rehabilitative justice, or I believe that people can change, and then someone like literally changes. Their whole life is different. They're just a completely different person, and it's just like, excuse me, sweaty, is this you? And the guy like, yeah, 10 years ago. We're over this. I'm never going to be over it. Okay, well, if you want to live in 2014, I can't stop you. And also, like, if you make that, how is good art? Well, first off, who gets to decide what good art is? That's a psychotic presumption. I hate that. That punching down, punching up bullshit is so fucking brainless. But the good art requires pushing boundaries. Whose boundaries? Whose boundaries? Because it's always fun when you're making something that's like provocative and subversive against the status quo. But if the status quo makes something that's provocative and subversive and boundary pushing against the people that are below them, then all of a sudden it's horrible. Fucking everything about literally every single thing that the fucking Daily Wire's movie people have put out is provocative. It is purposely provocative and boundary pushing. Those are the boundaries that have been established between them and fucking like standard society. They are pushing the boundaries. They're not bad because of that or good because of it. They're bad because they're badly made films. They fucking suck. Tyler, who can say what is good art? Leaving his body when Shad enters the chat. When I mean it with Shad, it's technically competent, is what I mean to say. The only good art is art which is also editable in an emergency. Absolutely true. I get to decide. I am the art man. I definitely think conservatives are worse at media literacy, at least online conservatives. Absolutely fucking untrue. One of the biggest mistakes that fucking lefties have made, and I blame this 1,000,000,000,000,000% on the video essay subculture, is thinking that for some reason lefties are fucking good at media analysis. The 90% of the reason why the fucking right has any ground to stand on in the culture war about media is because fucking leftists, especially ones that are highly prominent, I'm not blaming this as like an aspect of the politics, but like a lot of prominent lefties are terrible at media analysis and give the most crooked ass fucking out of left field fucking takes about what makes good or bad art, and will like ignore entirely bad shit, dog shit entries just to fucking seal clap for something because it conforms to their political persuasion. And like, it looks like shit. You know what I mean? Like that's unfucking enjoyable. That's lefties being dog shit. Not bad. Dog shit. Dog shit. At the highest levels, video essayists and people with multiple millions of fucking views, dog shit at media analysis is the reason I fucking started talking on this channel, because I literally had to fucking take the aux from them and fucking start doing the conversation on my own because I couldn't fucking listen to it anymore. The whole Starship Troopers thing comes from lefties being unable to do media analysis. Terrible at it. You just think you see one fucking bit of subtext as a leftist, and you're like, "Well, there we go." And then, like, just the confident, smarmy shit is insane. If you understand, I'm a person that took this shit in college. I have done these papers. I'm so good at them. I can fake them if I want to. I'm so proficient in talking about media that I can like literally make up the media takes from my side and the other side, and I can invent a third side for the media take if I want to. I could convince you that Jujutsu Kaisen is good. I could literally convince you that Jujutsu Kaisen is the best fucking anime ever. Some of you would be resistant to it, but even me just saying that confidently right now, you're already like, oh, I don't know. Lefties are fucking terrible. Especially the major one. I'm not talking about you on the ground. I am talking about people that have platforms right now. Fuck awful at media analysis. Some pretty good ones. Some pretty fucking good ones. A lot of dog shit. So many of them. You guys are like, well, fuck, Vosh sounds like ass with his media takes. The level of reaction you have to his media takes, I have to most of your favorite streamers. I will just leave it at that. Every single person that's done the fucking Starship Troopers is satire and they don't understand. They don't understand they're being laughed at. The boys is satire. They don't understand they're being laughed at. Oh my God. Insane cell phones. Just crazy. Literally, that is actual media analysis. And you don't get it. It is... the thought, only lefties. No, it's not true. It's not even remotely true. But only fucking in the world of media analysis, and especially with satire, only there can someone say, wow, no one got the joke and it wasn't funny and nobody laughed, and then have a smarmy walk-off, like they just had a walk-off home run. Only with that. Have you ever noticed that? Satire. Wow, that wasn't funny. The joke wasn't obvious and you had to fucking explain it and still people don't understand. Wow, that must be on them. It is an act. Art is an act of communication. If you are incapable of communicating the ideas in your art, then you failed. Failed. Especially when it's something as simple as fucking satire. That shit is trash. It goes so much deeper. Satire is worthless. I get into this. The whole fucking video essay is Starship Troopers, fascism, and the failure of satire, but it is madness. People will project for 2.5 hours to lo-fi hip-hop beats and call it a media analysis essay. You are true. I'm still going to laugh at righties who are shocked the boy portrays them negatively, but that's not analyzing media. It's me dunking out idiots. I keep hearing this, and I don't see that part. People keep sharing, they're like, wow, these righties don't understand that they were never the good guys. They don't care. The biggest complaints I've heard of the boys aren't like, wow, Homelander's not a good guy. It's like, this new season has bad characters and it doesn't make sense, and there was like a living human centipede scene that was kind of fucking gross. And like, those are all legitimate criticisms that talk about the internals of it, and then people are like, wow, didn't know that you're getting made fun of, huh? And like, they're over there like, what? I was talking about something completely fucking different. You're just handing out ammunition. It's fine, but like, I've got to see it more and more fucking often. You know, sometimes, sure, but like, oh my God. Are we talking the comic or the show, the boys? I'm only talking the show. The comic is fucking ass. The people that should be made fun of is anybody that says, like, you should read the comics, it's better. That's crazy. That's the most inaccurate shit I have ever heard. I have no idea why Frenchie got his own D story. The Frenchie side story is worthless. Every side story in this season sucks. I mean, maybe they'll pull it out in a second, but I don't care about Yui's dad. I never gave a shit about the Shining whatever. The female of the species, I can't remember what her actual name is I feel like it's hyper Japanese basic, like Yumiko or something. The female of the species is the girl's name in the fucking books. But the female, her side plot is boring as fuck because she is a buddy cop partner with Frenchie. Like, they are supposed to be together. When they split up, he's the only one that can talk to her, so she starts typing on her phone. Huey's B-pot with his dad, I don't care. Shout out Sean fucking what's his name from The Walking Dead for being able to sleep on camera. Don't give a shit. The firecracker thing was the most interesting stuff going on so far, and the ass eating scene was a bit egregious and gross, but it's the boys, so it's supposed to be like that. But there just hasn't been a lot of fun superhero shit, or even like over the top, gross, hilarious superhero shit. It's all way too grounded and small and like domestic, while trying to articulate this big scale. And we're down character. We have almost no characters left alive. You know, the 7 is on its fucking 16th fucking new member. The Deep is the only I love the character. The actor that plays the Deep is the best. I love that guy goes to the gym and gets absolutely fucking jacked for his role as a fish fucker and just does his best. He just does his best every day. He comes in, he acts like a fucking moron. He's great. Sister Sage is okay. I don't mind the Sister Sage character. I actually wish she had a little bit more going on. But the boys having to have B plots, all of them basically having to have some sort of B plot, except for the one interesting B plot, which was the Mother's Milk, the black dude, his ex-wife or whatever, having Matt Walsh be her new husband. And then that character who's like everybody's favorite little shitheel gets taken out. And so like, it's just not, this season's just not that interesting. It's not terrible. It's like fucking whatever, like a 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, which is like, I'm watching it. And it has a lot of places to go. As usual, Homelander is the best. Homelander is fucking great. Billy Butcher is all right too. Butcher needs to have less falling down, stumbly, head hurty shit. The whole like, you poisoned yourself with V subplot is, I don't know. It looks like he's got like a Venom symbiote at this point, so like maybe that'll be cool. But otherwise, But I love Homelander having like going back to his torture cell, which for some reason people are still working at, even though there's no one there. The problem is the examples we have, like Atomic Man saying Fallout never had capitalism as a theme. I don't know what you're talking about, but that would be wrong. That's insanely wrong. Conservatives love South Park and basically just ignore when it makes fun of them constantly. Yes, that's part of it. People don't mind being teased. I do like the A-Train story right now. The A-Train story is good too. Yes, shout out to the A-Train. A-Train's pretty much the best actor for like the grounded domestic-y type scenes. I like his thing where he's trying to overcome something. That's interesting. But like almost no one else. Like they just had to add shit for Starfire. Starfire feels ancillary. I feel like Starfire could fucking die right now and it would change nothing about the series. They recently added Homelander as a character in Mortal Kombat. I saw that. Most leftist video essays are discussions of something the person likes or dislikes with a digression into talking about some philosophy they once read and they think they understand. True. Isn't wrong. It's not like you have to stop reading or like not ever talk about anything unless you're a fucking expert in it. I don't believe that at all. But it's just like, that's the criticism. Like literally, like keep doing stuff, just amend the issues and understand that that's a major shortfalling. And it's like listeners understand that there's a shortfalling too. I was thinking about this. This is what I'm going to go on break here in a second, but I was thinking about this with people like, Tyler, you're wrong about stuff. I'm like, I am wrong about stuff all the time. I don't mind. I'll tell you if I think I was wrong and you find me evidence of it, I'll say I was wrong. I don't mind because I'm wrong about shit. You have to be wrong about shit. It's going to happen because you're a human being. That's why we're supposed to be, collectivizing and stuff and helping each other when we're inevitably make mistakes and fail and fucking come up short. But what I want is what I think a lot of YouTubers give people is a sense of surety in things. And that's why they're rewarded. That's where the parasociality is bad, is because the parasociality gives them a sense of surety. It's just right back to fucking True Detective season 1. He gives him power. They give him respect and whatever it is. To the surety that he gives them and that whatever they think that's true is true. That whole fucking speech when they're at the prayer tent is it. I don't want to give people a sense of surety. I don't want you to ever fucking leave my show thinking you 100% know what was going on. I want doubt. Where everyone else is giving you surety, I want to spread doubt. Because that's why, like, the 2 cocaines won't work on me for when I make a mistake. Because I'll say, I made a fucking mistake. You know what I mean? Or I came up short. That's fine. I'm not trying to convince you of anything other than you should not be so easily fucking convinced by people. Doubt. Doubt. I want you guys to doubt shit. I want you to be as curious as I am about how could you know that is all I care about. Like, that's like, how could you know? How could you get that information? Where did you get that shot? How is that connected to something? How, why, how? And I want that to spread. I want it to become a pain in the ass for everyone. And I want it to slow down the production of content to the point where people are like, I don't feel like I can make anything anymore because people are way too they're way too pushy and like way too fucking insistent that I be well sourced and like I know what I'm talking about and that I like say that I'm wrong. I want people to be terrified of putting content out into the public and being incorrect. I'm fine with that. I want people to feel the fear that I fear about being incorrect and like the trepidation to know that I will be called out as being incorrect because it has to happen. You will just be wrong about shit. Doubt. That's it. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what is accomplished. I don't know everything. I'm not the smartest. I'm a pretty smart guy for who I am. And I know a lot, mostly just because I fucking read shitloads of fucking books. But I can't read the entire library. Nobody can. So anyone that tries to make you think that they have, doubt. Hit X. Doubt. People were asking me about, I don't know if they're still in here, the Aiden guy, yeah, the fucking Lore Lodge person. They're like, you didn't even fucking watch the whole video to assess his points. Like, no, I didn't care about his points. Like, it's lazy. His video was lazy and maybe largely fucking stolen from people. Like it's just giant chunks of it were cribbed. He didn't meet the minimum standard for me to even pay attention. I have a short time on this earth. We all do. And I'm not going to engage with an hour plus content if in the first 5 minutes or so, you just present it in a completely incorrect way. And I think a lot of people want that. They want that out for content. And that's what I want to give people. I want to give people tools that are universal and repeatable. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on for doubt. I see it especially with when I come across people in his subsector, him, What If Altus, the sort of internet suits, that people will try to presume something about me in order to not listen to me, which is fine. But I want you to get the right stuff to do it. So with his, it was very fascinating. People were like, well, I'm just, one person said, I'm just going to assume that you don't like him because of his Christian beliefs, which I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that has to do with the Killdozer, much less where that came up. So I don't know. I don't know what that is. You know what I mean? And then I think Lore Lodge specifically accused me of being on the side of the other person who said something about sewage, which I'm not. I don't even know that much. I wanted to learn more about the Killdozer, but then I realized I was watching somebody else's fucking documentary on it through his page, so I turned it off because I could just watch that documentary. I fucking looked at the documentary and it's shot for shot in cases the exact same shit, or he's got added in B-roll of nothing. I don't know what it's connected to. Just random B-roll to fill it because, you know, who wants to look at his fucking face? And you're like, oh, shit, what's he going to do? Is he going to make the video shorter? Yeah. You can not make the video at all? Yeah. I'm going to have fun on Thursday, dude. This is going to be a blast. Oh, Alice, what's up? I'm unpausing. Super chat $5. I'm of the opinion that conservatives are more likely to treat the act of making art cynically, but I don't think that's the same as being incapable. Most people are allowed to be annoyed by annoying folks. Oh yeah, you can be annoyed by people. That's fine. If you just want to, here's the thing. I just don't want you to, don't lie to yourself. If you're just like, fuck this conservative artist because they're conservative, that's fine with me. I don't give a shit. If I can't take that away from conservatives. They're like, I'm not going to fucking spend any money on this fucking liberal propaganda. And you're talking about, I don't know, Paddington Bear 2. Fucking Paddington Goes to the City. Okay, man. Like, I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise. I just want the criticisms to be fair or accurate. And if your criticism of it is, I don't like it because I just don't vibe with it at all because politically I find it offensive. Okay, yeah, why? I'm not going to fucking, drag you and drown you in the content you don't want to see. I might judge you on that, but like my judgment shouldn't preclude you from doing the same thing you already want to do. I think it's fine. Whatever, okay? I don't want to play Hollow Knight because I'm anti-bug violence. And you're like, well, it's not really like that, but okay, like I can't convince you really otherwise. At a certain point, if it's somebody's vibes keeping them from enjoying something, go for it. And lefties are like that too. Lefties are like crazy like that. We boycotted fucking a game of a Harry Potter game. You guys remember that? You remember when people threw away credibility and entire careers over the fucking Harry Potter game? You guys remember that? That's the same thing. You say, I'm not politically aligned with these people, and I'm fucking not going to play it. Which is fine. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. But you want to try to pretend like, no, I have, like, it's more morally correct for me to do it than it is for them to do it because it's my morals are correct and their morals are incorrect. It's like, okay, who do you think you are ever going to fucking convince with that argument? Aside from people that are on your side already, or people that are going to go like, yeah, sure. I don't want to fucking, this is making me nervous. It's the same thing. It's where you can't moralize arguments that are vibes based. You just can't, because people just won't agree with you, you know? And so, like, that was the same thing with the fucking, the Harry Potter shit, was that people were saying literally, I'm not going to play it because trans rights. Fair. I agree. Okay, cool. Literally the reason I didn't play it. I didn't play it for that, and I also just didn't think it looked interesting. And then, like, the person that didn't play it would also be like, but it has to be bad. It's not going to be good. It couldn't possibly be good because of, like, all of these reasons. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start sharing, like, literal cope about how bad this game is so that I'm justified in not playing it for my vibes-based reasons. Like, dude, just stand by your fucking morals. That's fine. If you don't want to play it for a vibes-based reason, don't. If you're, like, literally, like, I don't care. I can't try to convince somebody that their bigotry is bad just because it's bad, right? And I mean, that's not like necessarily you're being a bigot against fucking J.K. Rowling, but it comes from the same place. It's just pure vibes. Fuck that bitch. I don't want her to get money because I hate her fucking politics. Based. Cool. You don't literally need to add anything after that. That's what based as fuck. Okay, we can go on that. You put a fucking line in the sand. I don't have any fucking evidence. I don't give a shit. Cool. I like you. What about you? I think that you should play this game because it's a great successor to. So this is just an amazing game. I've always wanted to walk around in Hogwarts, and I think it's like, all right, cool, whatever. How about you? Like, fuck that transphobic bitch. Okay, cool. I didn't play it because wizards are lame. Based. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? If you want to make the deeper argument about, like, why you should get over something, that it has to all be based around that. That has to be the entire heart of something, because you can't, like, put it off to the side, because people's personal feelings about shit are often, this is gonna blow your mind, very powerful, and they will override all of their other, like, predilections towards other stuff. So if you are going to talk about somebody's, like, sort of bigotry or their you know, pre-existing prejudice, I mean to say prejudice, sorry, instead of bigotry. Prejudice is what I mean to be saying. If you're going to be talking about their prejudices towards something, like, they're being prejudicial. You know, that can be written in the fucking bones of people, and it might be next to nothing that you can do about it. That will have to be the entire conversation. You know what I mean? Like, you should whatever because of this, and you can't go off on, like, the moralizing and stuff too much, because you have to assume that they're going to hold the same morals, and if they don't, they can just go, I don't give a fuck, I don't agree with you. And then if neither of you are honest about that, then it always just descends into, like, I'm pretty sure you're a pedophile. I think you're a pedophile. I couldn't be a pedophile because you're a pedophile. Like, that's why all these arguments look like this. It's because people are trying to moralize their way through it in arguments where your morals are worthless. They're they're not good, like, as a way to convince somebody, because they don't have the same morals as you. So when you say this is bad because this thing is immoral, they're going to say, no, it's good because it is. And then you can't go anywhere from there. This is why my argumentation tries to be based around harm. I do have my own morals, and they're very, very strict. But I don't try to cram them down everybody else's throat in a general sense, except for, like, these sort of things. And this is still right here, you know.
Hope you enjoyed your time on the Westside.